Okay, so the brick and mortar friends are going to have tomorrow, and you will too in Thursday's folder, a puzzle piece that asks you questions regarding the One Big Party article and video. But because I'm not there to make sure that you understand it, I'm going to go over the worksheet with you today, and that way you'll know exactly what to do for tomorrow's puzzle piece. So if you click on here, I don't know where you're at in this folder, but I'm going to assume that you have already watched the first video where Miss Morgan reads you this whole article and gives you more information than just what's here. So that's really important because that's essentially how you're getting taught this article, unless you just want to read it yourself. And then this bottom part are the worksheets. So there's this page with the little people, and there's this page. So ideally you would print this because you can see how difficult this will be to write in your notebook. But if you have to, then go ahead and write that in your notebook or take pictures of it or save it as a, if you want to type on it and save that on your computer, whatever you need to do to help yourself. This is not something that, the brick and mortar people would have before they took their little assessment. So you're at an advantage here with that anyway. But I'm going to make mine big so that we can see it. So let me download it for you here. Okay. So you already have read this and listened to Miss Morgan read it to you and teach you about it. And now we're going to go over this part. So which vocabulary word matches each term? So a political party is this one, G, an organized group of people who share similar political views and work to influence government. Number 2, a write-in candidate is, nope, this one, a candidate whose name a voter must hand write on the ballot. So if you don't want the 2 choices, or however many, usually it's 2 choices that are there, you don't want the Republican or the Democrat, you can write in a third option. It's typically not going to be the winner because most people will vote for one of the 2 that are there, but that is an option on a ballot. Number 3, public policy. That means the stand the government takes about how issues should be handled. Number 4, minority party. That would be political party that does not have a majority of the elected members. So minority is the smaller group. Number 5, a third party. That's what I was just referring to with the write-in. A political party other than Republican or Democrat, because those are our 2 major parties in the US. Number 6, platform. This is a set of statements describing a party's views on major issues. Number 7, political views. That's going to be this one. A person's ideas about how government should run and how issues should be solved. Number 8, ballot access. This is allowing a political party to put a candidate on the ballot, so giving them access to voters. Number 9, a candidate. This is a person running for political office, and you might have seen the signs around town, like at the corner of Wawa and other places, or people holding signs at like a stoplight. And those are people that are running for political office. They want to be on the school board or they want to be the judge. That is what a candidate is. Number 10, majority party. So this is going to be the opposite of minority party. A majority party is the political party with the most elected members. Okay. Of course, if I'm going fast, that's why you get to pause me. Letter B rather, registered voter. Read each registered voter's statement, then decide how each voter is probably registered. Be careful, some have more than one correct possibility. Mark all that you think could apply. So are these people, each one, registered voters as independents, third party, or Republican or Democrat? Number 1, I am committed to my political party. So if they're super devoted to their either Republican Party or Democratic Party or non-Democratic Republican or a third party, that means they are this one, third party, and Republican Democrat, right? Because if they were independent, that means they could go either way depending on the issue. But in this case, this voter is stating, I am like hardcore devoted to my party. So it's going to be this one and this one. Number 2, I don't agree with either the Republicans or Democrats all of the time, so I don't want to commit to either one. right? So this voter is exactly the opposite of this voter. So we're going to check independent. Number 3, seeing my party candidates win elections is less important than supporting a party I truly believe in. So this person is neither independent nor Republican Democrat, so we're going to check third party. Number 4, I don't like America's two-party system. More parties should have a chance to be heard. So this lady is all 3. Number 5, I don't fully agree with my party's platform, but I want to support a party that has power and influence. So even though he's not thrilled, he's going to vote this one. He's going to be a registered Republican or Democrat because he believes that one of the two should be powerful and influential, and that's where you're going to get most of your power and influence. Number 6, my party may not be powerful right now, but if nobody joins, it will never again influence. So she's a third partier. She's like, well, it's not great, but if everybody gives up, then there's not a chance. So she's going to stand by her third party choice. Okay. 5 roles of political parties. Write each example of political parties at work. Decide which of the 5 roles the example best illustrates. Write the underlined letter in the button next to the example. You may have more than one answer. So our choices are supports candidates, which is going to be a letter C, influences laws and policies, which is going to be a letter P, unites levels of government, letter U, create balance, letter B, influence voters, letter V. So we're going to have a bunch of just letters down here that match our answers. Number 1, party leaders meet with a senator who is not supporting the party's platform on environmental issues. So there we're dealing with a policy. So we'd put P. Number 2, a party's state office asks party members to write their legislators and ask them to vote no on a state tax bill. Again, state tax bill is going to be a policy, so we're going to put P. Number 3, a party's state office runs a phone bank before the election to call party supporters and remind them to support the party's candidates. That's going to be obviously candidates, so a C. And they're trying to influence voters, so a V. Number 4, a party's state office holds a conference for state and local officials to discuss the party's goals for the state. So this is going to be uniting the different levels, so a U. Number 5, a committee of legislators from one party meets to draft a law that will be acceptable to everyone in the party. This is going to be a policy, so P. Number 6, a group of legislators from the minority and majority parties meet to discuss compromise after a failed vote on a budget bill. So now they're going to have to balance each other. They're going to have to compromise. We're going to put balance B. Number 7, a political party pays for a series of televised attack ads against a candidate from another party. You guys have seen these commercials where one of the candidates bashes the other one. And this is going to be C and V, candidates and influencing voters. When you're sitting there watching Jeopardy, they're trying to influence you by showing these ads. Number 8, a political party holds a huge convention to nominate and celebrate the party's presidential candidate. That's going to be C, candidate. Number 9, a state governor meets with a city mayor and state senator from the same party to discuss the governor's policy on education. This is going to be uniting levels of government, U. Number 10, the president refuses to sign a bill passed by the opposing party and meets with legislators to discuss possible changes. This one is going to be balanced, right? Because it's the different branches of government. And also P, policy. Number 11, party volunteers spend a Saturday afternoon at the park handing out party-sponsored voting guides. This is going to be V, trying to influence voters that are hanging out in the park. Number 12, a new law passes the Senate where one party has a majority but fails in the House of Representatives where the other party has a majority. This is going to be B, right, because we're balancing the two, and P, because this is going to be where policy is made. Okay, at the bottom, if you have this printed out, you can just draw the lines connecting. We're trying to connect the two-party system, one of these boxes, over with one of these boxes. So it says the US has lots of parties, but it is often considered a two-party system. Draw lines to match the characteristics of a two-party system to the statistics about US voters. And remember, our two parties, if we're identifying as a two-party system, which we do, we're talking about the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. So over here, citizens may be frustrated or dissatisfied with the two major parties, and that's going to connect with, in 2014, 58% of Americans thought a third major party was needed and 35% didn't. So that shows that the majority of Americans aren't happy with the two parties. Third parties rarely gain enough support to win elections. That is supported by, in 2012, 7% of Americans plan to vote for a third party presidential candidate, but 7% is not enough to win. Most citizens identify with one of the two major parties. Where is the statistic? And it's here. In 2015, 55% of Americans personally identified as either a Republican or a Democrat. And 55% really isn't that, it's a majority, right? Because 55% is over 50%, but that's still only 55 out of every 100 Americans, which means another 45 don't. So it shows that there is some dissatisfaction with the two parties. Okay, so you have everything you need now to be able to be equipped for tomorrow's puzzle piece. Have a great day.